How you going? Fucking hell, first video. Can't talk to a camera for shit. What is this about? Oh, should you go to usyd? I went to a usyd for a year and this was my experience. Yeah. I've been at usyd for about a year now. And I'm gonna fucking leave. That's the verdict. And I kind of knew I wanted to leave about 2 months in when I realized that, because I'm still doing it because technically I finished on November. Psychology, like Bachelor of Psychology, majoring in psychological science, which is just, you're fucking balls to the wall as basic normal psychology as you can do. Now usyd, should you go to usyd? Talking to all the youngins, maybe, you're in HSC, maybe, you're in year 11, year 10, thinking about uni, thinking about usyd because you hear good things about it and it has like that fucking Harry Potter building. Big lie, first off, you don't have any classes in the Harry Potter building. Unfortunately, it's just a tourist attraction. I felt a little bit cheated out when I found out about that, but that's just the way of the world. So, usyd. I'll go through the social part next, because I think that's the most fucking worst part about it. Educationally speaking, because that's why you go to uni, right? To get a quality education. It's pretty good. I learned a lot of things about psychology. The lecturers and tutors were a mixed bag, though. I had one lecturer, and I'm not going to name him. He was kind of like this chubby, bald guy. He spoke a little bit like this. So it's like fucking bald Ben Shapiro, kind of. But I think it was Jewish too. Anyway, so bald Ben Shapiro. He was the worst kind of lecturer because he was someone who would... Because keep in mind, psychology is considered a science. Like I said, psychological science. He was someone who would infest his own political ideologies and beliefs within his lectures. And even if you agreed with his political ideologies, and some of, what he's saying was just kind of common sense, to be honest, it's unnecessary. And, there's the stereotype in Sydney universities where it's like, the Asian tutor that barely knows how to speak English. It's about half true. My psychology tutor didn't speak the best English, and I remember this question in particular. In my last tutorial before the exam, me and the guy I used to talk to in my tutorial for that, I can't remember his name, it's maybe like Killian or something. We both asked the question, what are your best tips for the exam? To which her answer was, oh, I don't know. What? You're the tutor, and you, not even like a, revise, learning outcomes, make notes, test yourself, just, oh, I don't know. It honestly baffled me. And I remember in the last lecture I ever had, with the unit coordinator did the last lecture. It was the Ben Shapiro guy. That was semester 1. Even he was like, we don't actually have exam revision materials because you guys are meant to do it yourself. What? So your best advice, as the unit coordinator, your best advice for the exam that you wrote was just, do it yourself. What? And I'm not saying that's the experience of every course in usyd ever, because it's probably not, you probably got some unit coordinators. And the unit coordinator I had for psychology this semester is really good. Professor Boag, I think is how you pronounce his name. He's really good, really smart guy. But like I said, it's such a mixed bag, because you have some people who are really knowledgeable and very open about the subject of their topic, and some people who either don't know how to express it well, or they just express it in a way that's kind of dickish. And I think that's one issue, that's probably my primary issue with usyd, because the tutors and the lecturers, in my opinion, are such a mixed bag. Let's talk about the social aspect. Sorry, I had to cut that. I just fucking sneezed. Social aspect sucks. No. I mean, it's like anything in life, and if you were gonna write down anything from this video, it's just fucking my experience to be honest. Probably write this down, is that you get out what you put in. And that's kind of applicable for anything in life, right? Like, take high school, for instance. If you kind of half-ass high school, half-ass HSC, you're going to get a half-ass result, you know? Like, I know this one guy, I'm going to call him Don, because I don't want to fucking dox him. He kind of half-assed high school, like, all of fucking high school. And, like, now, like, a year after he's fucking graduated, he's, you know, working at Coles and fucking managing a Clash Royale clan. Like, that's the biggest thing he has going on right now, is managing a Clash Royale clan. What is he going to be doing 10 years down the line? I don't fucking know. No one knows. Like, he doesn't know what he wants to do, because it's half-assing. It's half-assing ambition, and you can't do that. The same thing with, like, socializing in university. And it is hard. Like, no doubt, it's hard. Because for the first time since you were like, what, six years old in kindergarten, or maybe like 13 in high school, you're forced to socialize in a completely new environment. And it's difficult. But I don't think usyd, as an institution, does a lot to help that. And I realized that when another person who was in my year in high school, we'll call him Billy, not his name, of course, Billy, in high school, one of the most extroverted, friendly people you ever met. Right? I heard him say, about 5 months ago, that usyd social life fucking sucks. Because either everyone's an international student, and there's like, I think 47% of internationals that English aren't their first language, so it's kind of hard to communicate, or they're just non-verbal. And like, the second camp, the non-verbal camp, it sucks. Like, I was in a tutorial for like a health class last week, like society and health. And, you know, the tutor, lovely lady, the tutor like hands us a piece of paper as like a discussion prompt. And it was brutal. Fucking brutal, man. Like, I was trying so fucking hard to try to facilitate some conversation. You know, I was bringing up, you know, life expectancies, because it was about Aboriginal health. I was bringing up like life expectancies in like Wilcannia and Menindee, you know, try to stir up some conversation, and all you get is just like one word response. It's just like, oh, 37-year life expectancy? Oh, that sucks. Yeah, the wall's made of wool, yeah. Carpet looks alright. I think they vacuumed the carpet. It's bad. It sucks. Like, and like, that's not the experience of everyone. Like, I know just as many dudes who have, you know, done really well socially in unis. Like dudes in UNSW, and even some dudes at usyd who are doing good at socially. But like, I think, and that kind of relates to the point of, you know, you get out what you put in. But I think on the total, it's just incredibly difficult to form new connections, at least from a first year perspective. And then that brings me to the clubs in usyd. Mixed bag. I joined the Film Society and the Drama Society. Film Society sucks. Don't do it. Because it's just film screenings. So unless you got mates there, I wouldn't do it. And it's paid entry too. It's like $5. Fuck that. And the Drama Society. Drama Society is really good. I do recommend that if you like acting. That one's actually really good. And I've met a couple people there that are really cool. I don't know if I'd get a beer with him though. Bit iffy about the. I don't know if they passed the beer test yet, mate. But if like uni, when you look at uni in general, I think that unless you want to be like a profession that requires the certificate, like I'm talking your teachers, doctors, lawyers, psychologists, engineers, engineering. Yeah, good luck not wanting to fucking off yourself with engineering. Then I maybe hold off on uni for a bit. You know, if you're kind of just like, if you were like me, where I was like, I'm not 100% sure what I want to do, you know, psychology or, you know, insert degree here sounds alright, I might give that a crack. Maybe hold off, just for a little bit. just for a teeny bit, maybe just hold off a bit. You know, talk to some people who have done the degree, or at least are currently doing it. That's what I probably should have done, and not spent, you know, however many fucking $1,000 on pretty much just a wasted year of uni, if I'm being honest. I mean, like, it's good. Like, it's, like, you learn stuff, but, like, in the long run, because my true ambitions are very far from, like, a scientific subject like psychology. Like, so maybe, like, 20 years down the line, I'll just be like, wow, that was pretty fucking stupid of me. But, that's kind of the same for most Sydney unis. Like, not just USyd, but, like, UNSW, ACU. Like, it is 100%, like, you get out what you put in. You know, if you're trying to be the social butterfly, you know, the fucking life of the party, it's like, you know, it's that old saying, like, hang around the bar long enough and you'll get a drink. You know, fucking be social enough and you'll probably make some mates. But I think for the majority of people that go, it is difficult. You know? It's difficult to form a new social group of friends. And, like, I do feel for international students who, you know, move to this new country and they're fucking, like, where are the mates? Where are the mates? God, no, name 3 mates. You know? Like, I think it's lucky as a domestic student that I still, you know, I fucking hang out with mates from high school all the time. Because, you know, I didn't graduate fucking 10 years ago. I only graduated, like, 12 months ago. So, like, I still talk to them. I'm fucking hanging out with them right now. In, like, an hour from now. But I think once you get out of high school, and I had a very narrow view in high school. I was like, when people would ask me, oh, what do you want to do? Ollie, what do you want to do, like, 5 years from now? I'll be like, I don't know. Just let me do the HSC. Let me get the ATAR I wanted, which luckily I did. Let me get the ATAR, and just, you know, I was very tunnel visioned. And that's a personal flaw of mine, because when you're tunnel visioned, got my little fucking periscopes here, you know, you don't see anything outside of that periphery. You know, you don't consider, like, passions, like, what you want to do, and, well, maybe you do, but if you're kind of, like, tunnel vision on this one thing, then, yeah, it helps you focus on that one thing, but sometimes you fail to consider what's outside of that tunnel. You know? So, I think if you're unsure about uni, take some time to get out of that tunnel and kind of critically, there we go, reflect on what you want to do as a person, on what skills you want to develop, and where that's going to take you. Because if you figure that out very early on, then you're ahead of, like, 90% of people. Because I remember this quote all the time. A doctor, like a teacher I knew, he had, like, a doctorate in fucking religion or whatever. He said to me, 90% of people, or most people, don't know what they want to do in life until about the end of their first year in uni. And I think that is true to a T. Because the common experience, and this is my experience, the common experience a lot of people have is that they do a year of uni, and then they're like, this degree's kind of shit, hey, let me do something else. I know, off the top of my head, at least 3 people who have done that. They've either changing degree/schools because the one they're doing is shit, deferred because the subject they're doing, they realize they have no interest in it, or have just fucking dropped out. You know? Because they're just like, well, no, this is shit. I don't want to do this in my life. I want to do something with more substance that I care about. So, in essence, with any Sydney uni, whether it be UNSW, USyd, Notre Dame, ACU, the rest of them, take some time, especially after the HSC, if you're like a year 12 boy or girl, take some time to figure out what drives you, what you can imagine yourself doing, because you don't want the experience, and my older brother taught me this, you don't want the experience of going to school, of going to a uni, and you don't have that light bulb moment. Because in life, when you pursue something, you know that's your thing, whether it be like film, art, law, medicine, whatever, when you have that light bulb moment. And I want you to write that down, because that light bulb moment, that's your instinctual response saying, yes, this is our thing. This is the thing that John Smith, Winston, fucking 1994, John Smith, I'm going to do with the rest of my life. So take the time to figure that out. And once you're there, once you're in whatever institution is going to enable you to do that, give it your all. Because what you put into life is what you get out of it. That's the talk for today. Thanks for watching.